Hey, it's Taco here. Come with me on my May 8th flight. I used some in-cockpit voice stuff, but I was having some problems with aviation radios. Here comes Travis. During my run-up, Travis was coming in to swap wings. We were going to fly together. He couldn't get his engine restarted, so he's been having a little bit of trouble with his engine. I think that's the same engine that went into the lake one time, and he's been having a bit of trouble with it ever since. I didn't like how my risers looked in my hand. I thought I might have twisted them, so I'm setting them back up and clipping in again. Always easier to do that than it is to deal with a riser twist in the air. He's to the outside. There. Check my watch. That's the way Brooke taught me. You pick them up from underneath and turn it over like you're checking a wristwatch. And hasn't failed me since. One of those little things you learn from an instructor that you just can't get on your own. Just a very simple technique to make sure you get your risers right. It's a little bit breezy that day, which made for a great takeoff. I didn't have to run all that hard. Now the clouds were supposed to be a lot lower. And I was hoping to go above the clouds, but I think they were at 10,000, 12,000 feet if I remember right. Of course, I dropped in my Adobe filter. I typically use it's a filter called Magic Hour. It's like a sunset filter. Now, in this case, it really amplified the green. It is not that green outside. And it also made my helmet a brilliant red. My helmet is not that bright red. So I've been talking with some people. Today is actually May 17th. I've been talking with some people. I talked to Trevor Steele and Tucker Gott and Dimitri from Iris Infinity. And I've got 55 flights in on the Magic now. And I like it. It's a great wing, but like when I want to fly with other people and try to keep up, it's just so slow. And it's a beast on no wind takeoff days. It's just, it's like somebody said it was like, driving a bus. So I've been talking with some people, and I'm going to order a Roadster 4. So a Roadster is a B-wing, so it's a little bit more, I don't want to say aggressive, but the Roadster's a little bit different. It's got a different curve and all that kind of thing, so it'll fly a little bit faster. They say it'll come up easier in no wind, that you have a bigger trim range so you can trim out more. So I'm looking forward to that. Dimitri's sending off my requirements. I'm ordering custom colors. And he's sending off my requirements to the manufacturer. A lot of these wings you have to order from a dealer, and I don't get it. You can't just email Ozone and say, hey, I want a Roadster, and they ship it to you. You got to go through a dealer network, which I think is weird. Originally, we were going to fly to Bishopville, which is 13 miles to the southwest. And I see him going the wrong way. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do my cross-country trip like I intended.
Cherokee 6494 Juliet, inbound for local option, coming in from the west 8 miles.
Okay, now that is a plane that is coming in to land at this airport, so I'm getting out of the way. I never saw him land. I saw him when he takes off, but I never saw him land. So I'm going to turn southwest and head towards Bishopville. And I figured out real quick I was never going to make it. At altitude, the wind was moving like 9 miles an hour or something. And you see me screwing around with my Insta camera there. This was May 8th. Now, I have since taken that clamp off. I got too much crap. I'm also getting too close to them houses. I'm going to cut back to the right. I got too much crap going on in my on my paramotor. So I got rid of that clampy thing. And I think it was May 10th. I actually I went old school. I just stuck it under my leg. And that works so much better. It doesn't vibrate as much under your leg. You know, it's not in the way of the lines. The only problem is storage. Like, where do you keep that Insta camera and the selfie stick during takeoff? But I was so happy with the way it worked under my leg. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take this stupid clamp off. I originally bought the clamp to put the Insta camera on my frame, on the hoop. But I'm scared if I tighten it too tight, I'm going to crimp the hoop, which I don't want to do. If I don't tighten it too tight enough, it's going to flop back into the prop and destroy the Insta camera and the propeller. That'd be like a $800 mistake. I always hate this part of the flight. When you leave our local airport, if you go north or east, or even a little bit west, there are plenty of big open fields where you could land out if you needed to. But when you go either like due east or almost due south, you can see there aren't many choices. You see me cross my legs there. In a different video that I'm editing now, you'll see I talk a little bit about weight shift. So what you're hearing is two different planes.
Means I get the choice to either stop on the runway or continue and take off, go around.
There's two different planes landing in Hartsville right now. So the first guy's talking about whether or not he's going to stop at the airport. Now the guy that just took off, he's taking off towards me, and then he's going to turn left, which will take him over the top of me.
Hopefully he sees me.
There he is.
I am below you through your 3 o'clock.
Now that was 6 clicks. I don't know what that means. Normally, 3, 5, or 7 clicks turns the runway lights on. High, medium, or low. But I don't know what 6 clicks means. Maybe that he saw me, I'm not sure. He was in a low-wing airplane. You know, I doubt he could see me.
Whew, glad I saw him. That would suck to get run over by a damn Cherokee.
I love looking at these swamps from the air. I don't know why. It's just kind of cool.
Okay, look. How do I turn this route off?
Yeah, I had programmed a route for Bishopville, and I could not figure out how to turn it off on Gaggle.
Well, as cross countries go, this did not work out well. It's way windier than it's supposed to be.
It's amazing how high the bugs will actually go. You wouldn't think they would go much higher than, say, treetop level. You know, what's up there that they would actually want to go do?
Why does it do that?
Y'all can also see how, even though I keep pulling right brake and cutting to the right, how the wind wants to push me either directly into it or directly away from it, depending on how I'm angled.
Okay. I need to stay below 1,000 feet.
I keep having to correct for the wind.
It is not supposed to be this windy.
A couple of nice big fields in front of me with high voltage lines across them. Might kind of suck to have to land there, but plenty of spots without power lines.
We're going to cross this field with the pattern to the west.
Weird looking cemetery beneath me. It's like a butterfly or something. Off to the left. I always thought that was just kind of a strange looking thing.
Hampton County traffic, clear mile at Camel Cub is crossing midfield. We're going to depart pattern to the west, Hampton County.
I don't know where Hanson County is. Never heard of it. I'm assuming it's somewhere in North Carolina. It's funny, I could barely hear Hartsville, but I could hear Hanson County or whoever that was. The baseball team was getting ready to practice. Not sure how well you can see them, but they're all out. They're standing out in the grass. Not sure what they planted here. This would have been a great field to land in before they. This winter, I want to get down low and do some sort of close foot drags. Not foot dragging, but close. I need to get better at getting down low and being comfortable, being able to control my altitude. You have to use a combination of brakes and throttle. It's kind of a dance.
I'm hauling ass.
Yeah, you can see how much faster I go when I turn around. And now back over this long set of trees before I get to the airport. That's the part I don't like. A couple of good fields off to the right behind that's a CVS, I think. It might work in an emergency. That pond to the left is the old Seeger's Mill pond. There used to be a like a grain mill or something out there. Legend says there's a treasure buried out there, that somebody buried some money or something at one point. One of my friends is really up on the history of the area. I think the noise you're hearing now is either from the GoPro or the Insta camera on my swing arm. One of the two. Okay, now what I'm doing is slowing down a little. You see me pull both brakes just a little bit, so it slows the entire rig down, and then when I let them back up, it drops at a steeper rate. You see it slowing down on the ground, and then when I let go, it drops at a steeper rate. So it's a way of cutting your landing short. So if you think you're going to be long, you can pull a little bit of brake. Now, did I still land long? Absolutely. I didn't land where I wanted to, but I like to give other pilots a good amount of space. Oh, I remember what happened. Okay, so what you don't see from that angle is I almost came in on my knee, and I pulled a little bit more brake at the last second and stood myself back up. So it was almost a bad landing. Actually, it was a bad landing. I recovered real quick. So see you next time. Still editing, but I do have another flight from 2 days later. Remember, don't go splat.